Hey everyone, so I'm on my laptop today because there's literally no storage on my computer to actually film a video. Um, but I'm doing kind of my version of the strip down challenge in the sense that I'm not going to be cutting from this video. But I'm going to be answering your questions to give you guys like a better sense of who I am as a person. I thought that would be kind of interesting. So let's just get started. By the way, these are off of Instagram, so if you want to be in my next one, follow me. It's down below. The first question I'm going to answer is, are you related to Sarah Snyder or are you just her doppelganger? Honestly, I'm not related to her and I don't think I'm her doppelganger. Everyone asks me this question, like I get asked on a daily basis, and I don't even see the resemblance. Like she's just like blonde, or she was blonde, and we have the same last name, so everyone's like, oh my god, you guys must be related, and I'm just like, no, we're not. The next question is, do you have any tips for photography? So clearly I'm not gonna like sit here and like point out all of like the tools on a camera and how to use them and like how to be good at it. That's just not what I came here for. But I think like my best piece of advice is that to be like a good photographer, you definitely have to stop looking at the camera as a tool for documenting the world, like a straight documentation of the world, but you have to like look at the camera as an inventive tool to like create something new and to tell your story. So, write that down, think about it, sleep on it, have some vivid dreams about it, and then go into the photography world and be revolutionary. I think that was really deep, so give this video a thumbs up. um, Lauren Braun asked what my favorite toe is. Definitely the middle one, because that's the one that like never gets stubbed on like hard objects. So, Sarah M asked, how do you earn money yourself? And for the longest time when I like first started YouTube, I like didn't have a job. I just like made like a little bit of money off of YouTube, and like that's how like I could afford to like go shopping and like treat myself. But I actually have stopped making money on YouTube, which I think is for the best because now it's definitely just a passion and not something that I take in like a business. I think that was really beneficial for me. So now what I do is just like I actually work like a normal teenager. I worked at Brandy Melville for 2 years, which was an interesting experience, but that's how I earn money. Next question. Someone from the art school in Holland, which is so cool that you like watch my videos and go there, wants to know where I get my inspiration from when it comes to artwork. And this is a good question because I used to get asked this when I first started like getting into art, and I like wouldn't know the answer, so I would just like make something up and be like, "Oh, I'm inspired by nature," or like I'm inspired by this artist, which is still true because like the entire art world is just like copying other artists. But really I feel like my biggest inspiration is like myself and my experiences. So when I like go to create something, and I like want to like make something meaningful, I look back into like my own like life experiences and like think what about like what I'm passionate about. So, yes, if you like go into making art with that mindset and like thinking like what am I passionate about and like how can I tell my story, like it will change the way that you create art and it will change the way that you look at art. So, yes. I got asked this a lot as well, but I got asked, are you from Boston or New York? And I am from Boston. I live here on the school weeks because this is where I go to school. Just a girl trying to graduate high school, you know how it is. But like literally every weekend or every other weekend, I find myself on a bus to New York City because that is where literally all of my friends live. And actually, no, but it's like where all the people that I hang out with live. And it's also just like nicer there, and so I just like go there like all the time and like stay with my friends and like do art and photography stuff and like modeling stuff. And yeah, I'm like always in New York, but I live in Boston. Andrew Budasak asked two really good questions. The first one is fashion or style, which one matters most? Definitely style, because the entire fashion world right now is like all about who has the most money, what labels are you wearing? And I think that's really dumb because like you can wear like really nice labels and still look like trash, but you can also shop at like the thrift store and even like fast fashion brands that are really inexpensive, which I don't support, but you can. And you can still look way better than someone wearing like expensive clothing. And then the second question that he asked was fast fashion or vintage. Um, Obviously, shop vintage over fast fashion. For those of you who don't know what fast fashion is, it's basically like the entire industry that just like mass produces clothing, and it's horrible for the environment and like the people who have to like work in those sweatshops and just everything. If you don't know about it, like I could probably do like an educational video on it, but I also just recommend watching this documentary. I think it's called The True Cost. It's on Netflix. It will change the way that you shop, but I just really don't like supporting that business anymore. Like the entire fast fashion industry, I don't support anymore. So always shop vintage. Go to the thrift store. Go to Goodwill. Go to Buffalo Exchange. I don't care what you do. Just cut that out of your life because it sucks. Art Hoel asked, any travel plans on the horizon? And yes, I'm literally always traveling. Besides the fact that I always am in New York right now, I'm actually going to Chicago this weekend and Europe. I think I'm doing London and maybe Paris in February to see colleges and also just to like have an early celebration for turning 18. And then in April, I want to do a West Coast trip. I was planning on going to Coachella, but like they freaking like fund anti-LGBT organizations, so cross that off my to-do list. I really just want to go and like see Seattle and LA and San Francisco, so I feel like April could be the time for that. And then this summer I'm trying to put together a trip to go to Ireland, so lots of traveling happening very soon. Sarah C. Braun asked, who is your favorite Braun? Definitely Ziggy, the dog. He's the best. Carolyn asked, where do you plan to live in the future? And honestly, I don't know. I want to be all over the place. I want to live in New York. I want to live in London. I want to live in Paris. I want to live in Iceland so bad, but like not for the rest of my life, just for like 6 months. I want to live in Iceland and just like photograph everything. And I definitely want to live in LA at some point. I don't think that that's going to be like where I live for the rest of my life. It's just not the environment for me, but I think it'd be a cool place to stay for a while and not just like vacation, you know? This is such a good question. Modeling or photography? Honestly, photography. Modeling is such a great way to like make connections and meet people and like further yourself in the entire like creative world, especially the fashion industry. But being able to be behind the camera and have like that creative freedom to do whatever you want is so freeing, and I just love it. Photography any day. That's my passion. What schools did you apply to? Literally 23, so I'm not going to name all of them. And I'm not going to name my top choice because I haven't heard back from them yet and I don't want to jinx it, but some of the schools that I've gotten into already are School of the Art Institute of Chicago, San Francisco Art Institute, Central St. Martin's in London, London College of Fashion, Bard, and then, you know, still have to wait to hear from like the other like 19 or whatever. Not 19, 18. There we go. I know how to do math. Oh, this is a good question. What are my plans for the future? So obviously in the near future, college, but let's say like 10 years, I definitely would like to see myself like owning my own place, maybe living with someone else, you know, a significant other. Preferably the significant other would be an artist, and we'd both be like financially stable, but you know, at the end of the day, we go back to our place, we chill, we have a glass of wine, have dinner, make some art, read a good book, like that just seems like the ideal life to me, you know? being financially stable and able to make art and like share that with someone, quality. Not Medusa asked, when did talkies change your life? Honestly, like last year around this time, I had my first talkie and I haven't stopped since. I literally have them every single day and I love them. I want them to sponsor me. Should you go to the Oxbow summer camp? I don't know. The Oxbow summer camp is completely different from the Oxbow school. Like, it's different teachers, different curriculum. I would just wait, and if you're into art, do the school, because the camp could be a completely different experience from what I had. Evelyn Preston asked, feelings on how Coachella is funding anti-gay and anti-abortion corporations. My opinion on that is, like, get the hell rid of your Coachella ticket if you already bought one. Just sell it and use the money to buy a Gov Ball ticket. Fly to New York, come to Gov Ball. It'll be lit. See you there. Fuck Coachella 2K17. Sorry for my language, guys. I just, like, am in a really weird mood. And I think that is the last question I'm going to answer, actually. Sorry to end that on a very weird note. But yeah, that has been a little bit of me as a genuine human being. Love you all. Check out the links in the down bar, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.